You know, when I was a kid, my favorite books were written by Charles Dodson. He was at times a mathematician, a teacher, a photographer, even a magician. But he was best known for the books he wrote under the pen name Lewis Carroll. My favorite was Through the Looking Glass, the story of a precocious young 8-year-old girl named Alice who walked through a magic looking glass, one very similar to this. Perhaps not quite as dirty. And the wonderful world she found on the other side. I'd like to illustrate some of my favorite passages using this pack of cards. Now, I'll remove a few, and we'll be using those later to represent various characters that Alice meets. But for now, we need to have a card chosen to represent Alice. And who better to do that than Alyson? So I'm going to run my thumb down the side of the pack. You'll tell me when to stop. Are you ready?
Yes. Stop.
Right there. We'll utilize that card, the 2 of spades, to represent Alice. Now, the first 2 characters she meets are the March Hare and the Mad Hatter. The March Hare and the Mad Hatter had a tea party. At this party, they were serving a beverage in a bottle, and written on the bottle were 2 words. Do you know what they said?
Drink me.
Drink me, that's right. And when she drank, she shrank. She shrank to a fraction of her normal size. Well, needless to say, that perturbed young Alice. But fortunately for her, the effects of the elixir were short-lasting, and she returned to her normal size. Later in the story, she met up with the Black Queen and the Black King. They also had a party, but they weren't serving a beverage. Instead, they were serving cakes. Written in currants on top of the cake were 2 words. Do you know what they said?
I do. Can I say them to Penn?
You may.
Eat me.
That's right. And when she ate the cake, she didn't start to shrink. No, no, no. Instead, she started to grow. So much so that her arms and legs protruded through the windows and doors, her head through the chimney. Needless to say, this perturbed young Alice. But fortunately for her, the effects of the currant cake were also short-lasting, and she returned to her normal size. At the end of the story, she met up with the Red Queen and the Red King. Now, the King and Queen had a party, but they weren't serving refreshments. They were playing croquet. Instead of using croquet mallets and balls, they were using flamingos and hedgehogs. Needless to say, this perturbed the flamingos and hedgehogs. Suddenly, the Queen ran around yelling, "Cut off her head, cut off her head." Well, fortunately for Alice, she was able to beat a hasty retreat and disappear. And she got out the same way that she got in, through the looking glass. Now, this is the story of a young girl with a vivid imagination. Some people seem to think you need a magic looking glass to get into that wonderful world of magic and imagination, but you don't. You can use any looking glass at all. In fact, any one of these will do.
Mark DeSouza! Oh, that was wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Wow. How did you decide to do this trick?
Well, that really was one of my favorite stories, both Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. And it always seemed to me to be so magical. And I was working out ways I could tell magic stories like that. That was the beginning of it. And I saw a magician who did a thing where he had mirrored cards. And I said, oh, well, that's the ending. Now all I have to do is put together everything in the middle.
I had no idea Lewis Carroll was into magic.
He was. In fact, there's an entire book called The Magic of Lewis Carroll. And most of the stuff is mathematically based, and a lot of the passages in the books are based on magic tricks.
That's so cool. Okay, Mark, let's look through the judging glass and talk to the boys.
Okay.
Hey, Mark.
Hello, Penn.
Well, of course, we know you. You've been hanging out with Teller since high school.
Absolutely.
You go way, way back with Teller, and I've met you along the way because I also know Teller. We have a mutual friend. And you're certainly a much better card magician than Lewis Carroll. You've taken tricks that we've seen before, and you've just put them together in a story that it's usually very forced. It doesn't make any sense at all. These tricks just get pulled out and shown and thrown away, and you made it a whole story out of it, which was very, very good. And what's so compelling about Through the Looking Glass is it's not through the black hole. It's not through something that's exotic and different, but it's something that's there from the very beginning. It's always there. The mirror is always there that Alice can go through. And that's one of the things that surreal with the commonplace that's so wonderful. The thing you left out about Lewis Carroll, which I was surprised you left it out. He was a mathematician, yeah. He was a magician, yeah. Of course, he's a writer, yeah. But the other thing you didn't point out was he was also a rower. You know, he was on the rowing team. He had a lot of paddle moves he did. He had a lot of fancy stuff. He was a very good rower, very good rower. But as is often said in Lewis Carroll's stuff, he is coding information in there. I've done a much sloppier job, but I think I've coded a few things in there. But you're a good friend, Mark, and we love you. It's a great, great routine. But, you know, you can tell by looking at Teller's face, you've known a long time. We don't think you fooled us.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, and I thank you all.
So you didn't fool them?
I didn't.
Oh, well, thank you so much. You entertained us all.
Thank you.
Mark DeSouza!
Good evening. I'm Mark DeSouza from Wayne, Pennsylvania. Most people know me as a successful real estate developer, but most developers don't have a 33-seat theater in their home or a world-class magic museum and archive. This is my working library, but it's become home base for an amazing magic community in Philadelphia. Some of the best magicians in the world come here to perform and teach, and they often bring extremely rare notes, which I add to my archive. I have over 4,500 sets of them, and this one holds the key to what I'll be performing tonight. The only way to discover some of this forgotten magic is to come to my place. Penn, Teller, I know you haven't been here yet, but you'll soon wish you had. Start taking notes.